Something about the way my mom had been acting didn't sit right with me. It wasn't just what she said, it was what she didn't. The way she went still whenever my father was mentioned. The way she answered questions with reassurance instead of details. The way she kept trying to move past things like they were already settled. The mention of my father had felt like flipping a switch I didn't know existed. Her reaction wasn't confusion or grief, it was shock. Sharp and immediate, like I'd stumbled into something she'd spent years making sure stayed buried. I tried to tell myself I was overthinking it. I'd been doing a lot of that lately. Every shadow felt longer. Every sound felt intentional. I was bouncing between hotels, keeping my head down, trying to blend into the background like that would somehow make me harder to find. But I couldn't shake the feeling that it didn't matter. That he was still watching, not following, not chasing, just observing, patient, the way he always had been. The longer I sat with it, the more obvious it became that there was a piece of this I didn't have. Something that explained why the cards started when they did, why they never stopped, why my mom reacted the way she had all those years ago and again now. I knew she had answers I didn't, and I knew she wasn't going to volunteer them. After a few days of minimal contact with anyone in my life, no visits, no explanations, just short texts so people knew I was still breathing, I finally called her. She answered on the second ring. "Are you okay?" she asked immediately. I almost said yes out of habit. Instead, I said, "I need to talk to you again." There was a pause on the other end of the line, not long, just long enough to feel deliberate. "About what?" she asked. "You know what?" I said. Another pause, then she said, "Come over." I arrived at my mom's house, and before I could knock, she was already opening the door. She looked tired, not sleepy, worn down, like someone who'd been bracing for something. She stepped aside without saying anything. I walked straight to the dining room table and sat down. Same chair I'd sat in 1,000 times growing up. Same view of the kitchen doorway. She didn't sit right away. She hovered near the counter, hands resting on the edge like she needed something solid to hold onto. "Mom," I said, "what the hell is going on?" She closed her eyes for a second. "Am I missing a piece here?" I asked. "Do you know something?" "It's complicated," she said. "That's not an answer," I said, "not anymore." She finally sat across from me, folded her hands, unfolded them, folded them again. "You spoke about your father," she said carefully. "That day, you caught me off guard." "You didn't look surprised," I said. "You looked scared." Her jaw tightened. "He wasn't a good man," she said. I waited. She glanced toward the hallway, like she expected someone else to be standing there listening. Then she looked back at me. "He wasn't always bad," she said, "but he wasn't safe, not for me, not for you. There were nights I slept with you in my arms on the couch," she continued, "because it was quieter there. Easier to hear him coming." My stomach twisted. "I called the police," she said, "more than once. You were still a baby." That was the first thing she said that felt like a crack instead of a shield. "They came every time." I asked. She nodded. "Usually the same officer," she said. "I didn't ask for that. It just happened that way." I leaned forward. "What officer?" She hesitated. "He was always calm," she said instead. "He talked to your father outside. Told him to cool off, told him to go for a drive, and he always did." She paused, then added quietly, "That scared me too." "Why?" I asked. "Because your father didn't listen to anyone," she said, "except him. I didn't like where this was going. One night," she continued, "the officer stayed longer than he was supposed to. I looked down without meaning to. He told me I didn't deserve to live like that." She said that my baby didn't deserve it either. My hands clenched. "He gave me his card," she said, "not the department one, his personal number. He told me to call if I ever needed anything. Even if I was scared and didn't know why yet." I swallowed. "And you did," I said. She nodded. "At first it was just reassurance," she said. "He'd check in. Sometimes he'd stop by without being dispatched, just to make sure we were okay." Her voice got quieter. "Then I started seeing him places," she said. "The grocery store, the gas station, the bank." My chest tightened. "You thought it was a coincidence." I said, "I wanted it to be," she said. She rubbed her hands together like she was cold. Then there was a night your father left drunk, she said. He said things he couldn't take back. I didn't know if he'd come back angrier or not at all. I was scared. She looked at me then, really looked at me. I called the police, she said. I didn't even finish explaining, and he showed up. The room felt smaller. He told me to lock the doors, she said. He told me he'd find him before he came back. My heart started pounding, and I asked. She didn't answer right away. He came back later, she said finally. Not your father, the officer. I held my breath. He told me there'd been an accident, she said. Single car, lost control. Died on impact. I stared at her. That's what the report said, she added quickly. That's what everyone said. My ears were ringing. You never questioned it? I said. She looked away. I was relieved, she said, and ashamed of being relieved. The silence stretched. Then I asked the question I hadn't wanted to ask since the beginning. Mom, I said, my voice barely steady, when did the cards start? She didn't answer. Mom, I said again, when? Her eyes filled, but she didn't cry. A few months later, on your birthday, she said. The room felt like it tilted, and you didn't stop them. I said. I thought they were from family at first. Your grandmother or a distant relative, she whispered. I didn't put it together until I got the next few. I thought he was just checking in, making sure you were okay, making sure we were okay. I stood up. Did you ever tell him to stop? I asked. She hesitated. That was enough. I stayed standing. After that night, I said. After the cards started. Did you ever speak to him again? My mom looked confused. No, she said. Why would I? When you went to the police, I said, did you actually go or did you go to him? That was the only time, she said. I didn't file a report. I asked to speak with him directly. I told him the cards needed to stop. He told me they were harmless, she said. That he was just checking in. She hesitated, then added, and for a long time he was telling the truth. I thought about all those quiet years, the simple cards, no messages, no escalation, just presence. He told me families look different sometimes, she said, that people watch out for each other in their own ways. My throat felt tight. He promised he'd never cross a line, she said. He said he understood boundaries, and you believed him. I looked around the room. At the same walls that had watched me grow up, at the table where I'd eaten breakfast before school, at the place that was supposed to be safe. When did you stop believing him? I asked. She didn't answer right away. When you called me about the deliverers, she said finally, that landed harder than I expected. I thought it was just birthdays, she said. I thought it was nostalgia, a reminder. I didn't think it was. Active. I nodded slowly. That was when it clicked, not all at once, not like a revelation in a movie, just a quiet alignment of things that suddenly made sense. The timing, the shift from cards to gifts, the way everything escalated after I stopped being alone. After she moved in, I didn't say it out loud. I didn't need to. You didn't do anything wrong, she said quickly. You were a child. I was scared. He helped us when no one else did. That didn't make this okay. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I froze, so did she. I pulled it out slowly, already knowing what it would be. No call, no text, just a notification. Motion detected. I tapped it. There she was, my girlfriend, standing on my front step, slipping her key into the lock like it was any other day. Like nothing was wrong. My heart slammed into my ribs. My mom's face drained of color. My phone rang. It was my girlfriend. I answered immediately. What are you doing at the house? I said. What? She asked. You told me to come. No, I didn't, I said. I'm at my mom's. I never told you to go there. There was a pause on the line. I got a text from you, she said. You said you needed me. You said it was important. My stomach dropped. That wasn't me, I said. Listen to me. You need to leave right now. Call the police. I don't understand. My girlfriend said, you're freaking me out. Listen to me, I said. I need you to leave the house right now. There was a pause. My mom was shaking beside me, whispering my name over and over like she could pull me back from something just by saying it. Just trust me, I said. Please get out. Go back to your car. I heard her move the phone away from her ear. Hold on, she said. Someone's knocking. My heart dropped. I heard her footsteps, the soft sound of her moving across the living room, Then the faint creak of the floor near the front window. She went quiet. "It's the police," she said, her voice already lighter, relieved. "There's a cop outside." I felt sick. "Do not open that door," I said. "I'm serious." I didn't speak fast enough. I heard the deadbolt slide. The door opened. "Hi," she said. "Can I help you?" Her voice sounded normal, polite, calm. I could hear a man speak through the phone now, close, clear. "Evening, ma'am," he said. "Sorry to bother you. We got a call about a possible disturbance in the area. Just doing a quick welfare check." My mom covered her mouth. "That's weird," my girlfriend said. "Everything's fine." "Yeah," the man said. "That's usually the case. Mind if I ask you a couple questions?" "Tell him to leave," I said. "Right now." She didn't hear me. "No problem," she said. There was a brief pause, not silence, consideration. "And you're here alone?" "Yes," she said. "Well, I mean, I was just on the phone with my boyfriend." "That's okay," he said easily. "You can keep talking. I don't want to interrupt." I recognized the cadence immediately, not the words, the rhythm, the way he placed his pauses, the way he sounded like someone who was used to people listening. "Could you step back inside for me?" he said. "I don't like standing in doorways. Safety thing." I felt my vision tunnel. "Don't," I said to myself. "Please don't move." She hesitated. "Is something wrong?" She asked him. "No," he said. "Everything's fine." She stepped back. The door closed. I heard the lock turn. I heard footsteps now, heavy, controlled. Then his voice again, closer to the phone. "You have a nice place," he said. "You take good care of him." "What?" she asked, confused. "I've been watching him grow up," the man said. "Longer than you've known him." My mouth went dry. There was a pause. Then my girlfriend laughed nervously. "I think you have the wrong." There was silence. Then the man spoke again, softer this time. I couldn't hear what was being said. Then the line went dead. I didn't hang up right away. I stood there with my phone pressed to my ear, listening to nothing, like the silence might change if I waited long enough. Then my body caught up to my brain. I grabbed my keys and was out the door before my mom could say my name. My phone rang halfway there. It was her. I answered immediately. "Are you okay?" I said. "Where are you?" "I left," she said quickly. "I'm not at the house anymore." The relief hit so hard my vision blurred. "He told me to go," she continued. "The officer. He said he was a family friend. He said he'd heard about what's been going on and thought it would be best if I stayed somewhere else tonight." My stomach tightened. "He said he was glad everyone was safe," she said. "He told me not to worry." I swallowed. "That wasn't just a police officer," I said. There was a pause. "What?" "That wasn't who he said he was," I said. "Listen to me. I need you to go home. Not my place. Yours. Lock the doors. Call the police and tell them everything. Every detail." "You're scaring me," she said. "I know," I said. "I'm sorry." I gave her the quickest explanation I could. She seemed distraught, but she understood now. We hung up. My phone rang again almost immediately. Unknown number. I stared at it until it stopped ringing. Then it rang again. I answered. His voice was calm, almost pleasant. "You should be grateful," he continued. I didn't have to let her leave. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. "She could have had an accident," he said. "People do all the time, especially when they're scared." I couldn't form words. My mind was moving too fast. "I just want to celebrate," he said. "That's all this was ever supposed to be." I didn't respond. "The house where you grew up," he said. "The first place you ever got a card. You remember where it is?" I did. "It's empty now," he said. "I've been fixing it up. I thought it would be nice, just us, like family." I told him to fuck off. He laughed softly. "You don't have a choice," he said. "If you don't show up, I'll make some phone calls. I'll find evidence that your mother wasn't as innocent as everyone thinks." My grip tightened on the phone. "And if that doesn't work," he added, "I know exactly where your girlfriend's parents live." He recited the address without hesitation. "Perfectly, I'll see you soon," he said. "I'm sure you are already on your way." The call ended. I pulled the car over and sat there for a long time, staring at nothing. Then I turned around. "I'm posting this now because it's the last moment I have to do it on my own terms. If I don't come back, At least someone will know why.